What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 54 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, Volkmar the Grim faced off against Arkan the Black in Lashik, taking out his army despite the relatively decent disparity in a unit quality. Volkmar also required only his faith to defeat Arkan because his battle wizard had not yet arrived, and that also reminds me we'll need to take another unit away from the army in order to fit the wizard, and obviously this army is still going to need quite the retooling. We still have 4 more turns until we can get Sigmarite disciples here, but we'll get there eventually, and by then I imagine Arkan's faction will be gone, so we will be trying those guys out somewhere else. Though as to where, it certainly does remain to be seen. Now, we left off the episode with Nud about to fight the battle at Blizzard Peak against a full stack of various gobos and orcs here with giants, trolls, some decent stuff here, plus the garrison as well of a tier 3 settlement. I like it. Not much to do other than this because we did all the money spending admin last time, so let's assign our points and let's get to it. First of all, I believe we were going for, let's see, we either have Beast Slayer, though it only really buffs you personally, Nud. I guess we're just going to go through Speed of Horse to continue buffing our Knights Panthers. So Speed of Horse it is right there, and then let's see, Warrior Priest. Cloud Ivan the Crazy. I mean, I guess we will get Hammer Sigmar for you, but we'll still want... Oh, we have 2 points, so yes, replenish troops. And then there is no real decision to make, or not a difficult one at least. And next up, Theon. Now, what do we have here? You have your improved scrying techniques, but your mentor is available, so we gotta go with mentor. We have a lot of wizards on the field now, and they all need lots and lots of XP in order to get access to improved scrying techniques, because we need so many items. The Empire as a faction, especially in SFO, is a pretty hero-heavy faction, where you tend to have a use for a lot of them, and thus you need so many items on all of them, everywhere, all the time. Anyway, Blizzard Peak. We cannot go into trenches stance, so we will have to do without. Close victory with medium casualties according to this, and it looks like a pretty fun / tough battle. Let's see what we can do.
Wise counsel!
Alrighty, here we go, another battle for Nud, and I'm hoping it'll be yet another nice one. There's a lot of enemies to contend with, and 3 regiments of renown, which include the Rusty Errors, which are a pretty good goblin unit, as it does cause armor sundering, if that is in fact the same thing in SFO, but I would imagine it is. Yes, armor sundering on their range attacks. Then we have the River Troll Hags, the Swamp Things, as well as the Moon Howlers, which are a pretty good generalist goblin wolf rider unit, especially for their cost. As usual, we've set up Nud's pile of halberdiers in this little semicircle formation that we like to do with this particular army, and the Panthers, or the Knights Panther rather, are waiting in the background to apply themselves wherever needed most. It does look like the enemy will be sending out a big portion of its cavalry out over onto this flank, so we might move our knights in order to counter them and kill them in the field where they have no support. Alrighty, looks like the enemy is moving forward with its artillery piece. Hopefully we can knock that down reasonably quickly, as well as anything else that we kill via splash damage. There we go, they're having a pretty bad day currently by the looks of it, and I don't imagine that artillery piece is going to be around for much longer. In fact, is already wavering. Our Knights Panther are also moving out in fairly large numbers. We're going to send 4 units to counteract the 4 enemy units that are on the other side of the map. Can't even sight them from here, but they're out there. I just know it. Alrighty, and we're even going to send Nud to lead them directly. He should be leading the Knights Panther after all, as he is our Knights Panther leader, and he does match them. And while he could certainly stay behind with the with all the halberdiers and stuff, we can leave the Warrior Priest to do that. Beautiful. Alrighty, and let's see. Hello, looks like the first of the charges is going to be directly towards the Moon Howlers, and we're in fact going to send a couple of units of Knights Panther to deal with them, while the rest move towards the various Boar Boys and and the pump wagons. Looks like our artillery are doing fairly decent damage, and the balance of power is almost even already. Just slightly in the enemy's favor, but hopefully not for much longer. Knights Panther are in, and they should have a pretty big advantage against these poor guys, especially in these high numbers. And there we go, the Boar Boys have smashed into the other Knights Panther, together, however, with Nud to do extra splash damage attacks. We're also going to try and catch the other unit of, I believe these are spiky rollers here, pump wagons. And by the looks of it, they will allow us to hit them in the side. And these guys with their anti-large should be very, very decent at taking out all those units. Alrighty, how are the Boar Boys versus these two? Just out of curiosity, Boar Boys are at about half HP, and we've taken basically no damage and 1 death on the Knights Panther. Looks pretty good. Nud has 5 kills, and the Hazel Knights have 11. Lovely. Are working quite nicely together. The rest of the army is moving in as well, and we are going to send the other Knights Panther to do the same thing and countercharge these Snotling pump wagons before they can do anything. Our cannon has also been trying to fire at trolls and then switching later on to fire at the giant for a while, but so far hasn't done a lot in the way of damage. 7,000 damage delta and 500 as compared to the 21,000 and 770. Though, to be fair, the cannon was also firing before at the enemy artillery piece, which I'm sure it was achieving at least something while 'twas doing that. The enemy lord has arrived and is charging or is attacking our summoned units of halberdiers, so we obviously don't care so much about that. And there's other units charging in as well, and here comes some trolls over on this flank, including the Swamp Things. Really going to have to be careful about this one, and we are going to move Theon in to counter them with a use of the Curse of the Midnight Wind, and possibly a Helm of Discord as well, depending on how long they last here. Ooh, nice knockback explosion from the Swamp Things here. But we do have handgunners who are firing at the trolls, as they do once again tower over our infantry here. Alright, reposition. It looks like the first of the regular units of trolls is actually going to book it on out of there while wavering, and the Swamp Things are going to back off from sustained fire from our range units. Otherwise, bounce power is now shifted in our favor at about, let's say, 65%, and it looks like our Knights Panther have by and large cleared out the enemy range units, or the enemy cav rather, and are now moving on to fight the enemy range units here. Goblin Archer here, and we are free to attack whatever other backliners remain, though they're taking quite a bit of damage from our rockets as well. Theon's going to fly overhead over on this side, as the Boar Boys together with some Orc Biggins are kind of threatening the Knights Panther here, and he's going to pop that Helm of Discord to debuff them all and allow our guys to dish out damage while taking a little bit less. And then, of course, once the Curse of the Midnight Wind is up and the Helm of Discord is down in terms of the cooldown, we'll just use that again. Artillery do keep firing, and not all the enemy melee units have arrived, but probably because a decent amount of them are doing the dance to avoid taking additional hits. Imperial armies don't feel complete without the Fire Rain Rock, or the Hellstorm Rocket batteries, rather. Though it is difficult to tell the two apart sometimes. They are different units, though. The Fire Rain Rockets have quite a bit less range, and they actually do fire damage, whereas the Hellstorm Rocket batteries do not. There's that second Curse of the Midnight Wind coming down, and our Knights are going to go after the Giant. This is what they're meant for after all, but they will be losing models to this. And unfortunately, the Giant with the debuff has fairly low melee defense. That said, it'll take these guys quite a long time to bring something like that down, unless Nud bails them out. And Nud is pretty much down with the enemy archers over in the background, and is now moving through the back line. It's probably going to move towards the Giant. Probably could also divert a couple of our handgunners units, one of them getting hurt, but this is the summoned one, so we don't care about it, towards fighting the Giant. As in, divert a few units to fighting the Giant, since the cannons don't seem to do enough damage to it. The Giants are just too big damage sponges. Kill everything. Working on it, friends, working on it. And it looks like a lot of the enemy units have begun to rout. The Giant's still fighting the Knights Panther here, but is now at half HP, or close to it. And more Knights Panther are moving in to counter it as well. Looks like the York Biggins are just about done here as well. And we're getting a little bit of magical artillery support from Theon dropping Uranon's Thunderbolts from the heavens. Alrighty, looks like a little bit more damage into our halberdiers, but that is the last of the damage that we encounter. The Giant will rout just as Nud gets here, but the Knights Panther did a great job at getting him down to half HP. They would have killed him eventually, by the looks of it. And while they did certainly take HP damage, 13 units lost is nothing horrible. Apparently a close victory, we certainly did expend a lot of ammunition, but I don't imagine we've actually suffered all that much damage. Certainly the halberdiers did hold the ground and did suffer a bit, but the Knights Panther did fantastic, clearing out all the enemy cav, essentially nullifying the enemy's mobility, and then going after the enemy's back lines. Ooh, I like destroyed, this is a really nice destroyed ruin of a fortress. I wonder if this is a Sky Giant thing. Looks a bit small, but potentially. Like, the stairs themselves look a bit small. Or Sky Giant, but it looks nice, whatever. Oh, there's more destroyed stuff in the background back here. There's back there as well. But I can't zoom out further into the map. But anyway, nice battle for Nud. Alrighty, there we go. Another great battle for the Knights of Nud. And did manage to hold everybody off. Not too much in the way of damage here. A few units lost on our frontliners, but that's about it. Our Knights did pretty darn fantastic as well, holding off pretty much everything that they needed to. Dueling the enemy cav and pump wagons in with decent ease, and taking out that Giant, or at least holding off the Giant as well. Well done, everybody. Alrighty, we are going to... I mean, on the one hand, it does have salt. On the other hand, we don't care about this particular time. You know what, let's occupy it for now. And we'll see. Oh, there you go, you got Perfect Digger out of that, nice. And another student as well. And another scribe as well. Wait, why did Henry Leonardus get the scribe? Henry Leonardus is nowhere near to here. Odd, but sure. Yeah. Blizzard Peak. It is technically part of the Saber Mountain territory, but because of the horrific public order here, it's still going to be probably an awful place to even bother to try to hold. And that said, if we give it to another friendly faction here somewhere, like Karak Drin, and they could certainly hold these mountain territories. Oh, wait, no, actually, this isn't even a mountain territory. It's a frozen climate. Really? This place? Not a mountain territory, okay. Sure. And Ice Spewer is as well. I mean, if we can manage to get the Urson Revivalists to survive and just give them all the territory like this, maybe? Oh, man. Just give the regular Kislevites Norska and then give the Revivalists the Chaos Waste and other various frozen climb territories? That's something we could try. Alrighty, now, a few other things before we end the turn, though we're pretty much ready to end said turn. And Drawk Legbiter here might attack Karuk Bufdar, so just in case, we're gonna summon, let's say you, Boris Haldenstrat. And you're just gonna sit there. Do you have, yeah, you do have Grand Soulfire. I believe we used you for the same purpose previously, so yes. I think you should be enough by yourself to deal with this. Let's get you Root Marcher just in case. And just in case you need to travel somewhere in a turn, though I sincerely doubt that you will. And Balthy will hopefully catch this guy. Yeah, we really need to just destroy this army so we can proceed to actually moving in to the Badlands, rather than allowing the enemy to move in to our territories. Alrighty, now, is there anything else? Any lord or hero that we need to summon? Well, I do want to check the heroes, but otherwise we'll end the turn. So let's see what we got here. Empire or Warrior Priest, we do have a Defender of Men with extra powder, which ain't horrible. So currently in, let me just see Balthazar Gelt's army here for a second. You two both have Okay, wait. Tough. Oh, right. You're supposed to get replaced by Alexis Rodzinner here. You have Imperial Calibration. Yeah, but I do want the extra range. I was just thinking we could also pop a powder unit in here as well, if we really wanted to. But it's not super necessary. I think we'll keep it as it is for now. Honestly, later on, this army might not even need the Empire Captain, but it is better to have somebody who can duel enemies when Balthazar Gelt is probably relatively unlikely to do so. At the very least, they can work together if they want. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. That's it for heroes, I think. So let us reacquire our Research. Council of the Electra is about to come up. Not that this gives us really anything that we care about so much, especially as the physical resistance under siege only applies to characters, but the Runefang Pact will give us increased Diplo, melee and weapon missile damage for Karl's army, and more importantly than all that, the main thing that we care about is the increase to allegiance points, because it's more variety for our armies. Skip the rest of this. And let's end the turn. Right, and where can we get attacked? If anywhere. Okay, somewhere here we can probably get attacked. There's a bunch of armies around. Maybe King Hapros will try to go after Volky again, who is at half HP, and this guy has a full army. Let's find out. Supervisor for Boris Todbringer, floating pyramid besiege, but that's us sieging, with Wolfheart, who does not have the siege attacker trait, so he had to. At least it'll be auto-resolvable because we already killed basically all the garrison. Alright, Followers of Nagash. Yes, they will attack, but it's at Martek, which we don't care about. Let's just let them do that. We're gonna retake it later on anyway. Hardly matters. And especially as we have more and more armies here now. Alrighty, Lewin, you want that military alliance. How much do you want for this? Just out of curiosity. +4. That's not enough. That's not enough. At some point, I'm probably just going to do it regardless of what happens with Grungzint, and then maybe we'll just pay him for it. But not while we need the money for our for construction, when we have free money, essentially. Trait gain supervisor for Boris, we've already seen. Constructor disciplinarian. Settlement lost, faction destroyed, Crooked Moon. Nice. Settlement besieged, Carrick Bufdar. Ooh, that's a... Ah, they did go here. Okay, interesting. Interesting, now... I wonder who can reach them better. Wait, Council of Electors, yeah, that's great. And sort of claimed by Ilariel. I want to see who can travel further. So you, Gelty, can go all the way here. Peter, you cannot go nearly as far. On the other hand, I don't want to send Gelt all the way up here. Alright, well, let's try this. We're going to move you here. We'll see what happens. Peter's not needed to defend something right now anyway, so he can deal with this and then he can head out to sea, unlike he was planning. Let's do that. You're going to back out. Are you going to back out close enough to Peter to attack? Maybe?
Leave no one behind.
Yes. Alright, we'll auto-resolve this real quick then. Oh, unless the auto-resolve decides to screw Peter as usual. Close victory, yeah, but they should heal up, right? Right? Game? Really? At least we got a steel standard out of it, a bunch of speed, but damn. Alrighty, pardon the captives, let's just see what the healing is like on you now. Oh, wow. Basically no healing at all. Oh, right, it's because we're in mountainous terrain. That's okay, you can go back to Miragliano, since you have to head out to sea anyway. You can sit there for a single turn, because you have to go past it anyway. And Boris Heldenstrat, you got the steel standard, but not for long, my friend, as we no longer need you here. And we are going to make you disappear. Alright. Gelty. And then, two things. Wolfgang, you are going to leave the army. But you will be going into a different army because you're quite nice. We are going to put you, Alexis, into this army, and there we go. Now, we have 570 range on these Hellstorms, and the same on the Great Cannons. Isn't it just wonderful? Out of curiosity, do War Wagon Mortars, what's their standard range? I just want to know whether they're counted as artillery for the purpose of that particular buff. No, standard range is 350, so yeah, no, they don't get anything out of it, which is a shame.
It is time.
But oh well. That's fine. Guilty. Then you, my friend, are heading out to Bitterstone Mine or whatever. Let's start march dancing you out this way. I don't know which army Wolfgang is going to join yet. I would like one... right. Alright, first of all, delete, move up here. Unless we can replace you immediately and delete you. And ooh, a Knight Heritage Empire Cap. Yes! Absolutely perfect. That's what we've been waiting for. We have 2 Empire Captains. Both with Knight Heritage. Amazing. Exactly what we wanted. And who are you again? You are... Oh, you're the Weapon Master. Yes, you're moving up here. So now that we have 2 Empire Captains, they are both going to join Kurt Helborg's army. You're going to get a rename. Reichscaptain... Ow, for the love of... Reichscaptain... Sido, and then you are also going to be a Reichscaptain. Can't have Reichsmarschall army without any Reichscaptains. Beautiful. And they're both going to be on Demigryph Knights. Yes. Or Demigryphs. Well, well, maybe they'll be on Demigryph Knights. Who knows? Slaneshi giggle. Let's see. Kurt, now, we want you to do several things. First of all, Recruiter needs to continue recruiting, but he wants to do it in Altdorf or somewhere else. So what we need to do is... I guess we can have Kurt transfer the units. So you're going to briefly travel here. You're going to grab these units, and then you're going to transfer them to Boris. It's gonna take a few seconds. You can take all of these guys. I guess you know what? Hold the greatsword for now. You don't need them yourself right now, but whatever. Then delete. While you do want to join the army, I don't see where the heck that other army went. Could be up here. There is Slaneshi corruption. Wait, is there army presence? Buildings and faction. No, I don't see army presence. I'm just a little bit worried about somebody moving past Mindenheim and Middenstag. You know what we need? We need to force an alliance, a defensive alliance with Nordland. That's what we need to do. We need vision of their territory. So, Nordland, Imperial Machinations. You are going to go defensive alliance with us. A non-military alliance, just in case they screw us over in some way. Defensive alliance. Thank you. Aha, there they are. There we go. Alrighty, but they're probably too weak to threaten us in any way, which means, Boris, you can take your stuff. Delete, you will join Boris's army.
Items of power.
And you are going to join this army as well, so we just need to keep one space free. And you know what? We'll keep the... Maybe we'll keep the Karlberg Greatswords in this army for now, for a little while. I can always trade them around, because it's going to be a while until we can get another Teutogen Guard in here. Well, okay, fine. Not that much of a while, but still. Only 2 turns. Alrighty, so what we need to do, you're at 18 out of 20, but this will be at 19 out of 20. 20 out of 20. Then we're going to take back 2 Greatswords. One to get replaced with the Warrior Priest, the other to get replaced by the 2nd unit of Teutogen Guard. Like that. Beautiful.
Ready.
It'll take 2 turns, but that's fine. Boris, you can just briefly sit in a Weissmund here. And then Kurt, you can move back here. Recruiter.
Yes.
And you're going back to Eilhart then, wherein you will continue your recruitment. Reichscaptains, you can join this army, I guess. Am I missing something? Oh, yes, we... Did we not get...
What do you require?
Yeah, we did. Knight Heritage Warrior Priest. Beautiful. So you are also going to join this army. We have 4 units in the Reichsmarschall's army with a Knight Captain. Honestly, at this point, I'm thinking maybe we don't even bother using halberds. Just a couple Reichsguard with a couple of artillery pieces, as in foot Reichsguard. And then most of the army will otherwise be cav-based. Because so many Knights Heritages are going to be real nice. Battle Banner Leadership -4. I don't really care about the Leadership -4, but the loss of reduction for cavalry, -40%, is pretty significant. Now, ooh, yes, we can get the Altdorf Company of Honor for free, mind you. Man, I was going to put that in this army. I guess we could put the Altdorf Company of Honor together with this army? I don't know. We're going to build it either way. Can't believe it's only 160 to have this thing. And that's the only thing we can recruit right now, because we are recruiting a bunch of these things, but that's fine. Next turn, this means that we will be recruiting In fact, I guess we could do this right now. Steam tanks. And let's start on some Hellblaster volley guns. Alright, like so. Lovely. Man, these things are going to take a while to recruit, but it'll be worth it. Ooh, we have Luminarchs available now as well. And we have the Templehof Luminarch back. And the Silver Bullets. Oh wait, no, 1 turn until the Templehof Luminarch. But yeah, that needs to be in Balthazar Gelt's army. Okie dokie. I'm excited for once again using a bunch of these units. Wolfgang, stay there. Karl. The important man. The man of importance. I've had a little bit too much coffee today. I'm so stupid. Go for Mr. Ronan here.
Raise your weapon.
And this should be an auto resolve. It's probably gonna hurt us, but we're not fighting. This is garbage. Look at it. Yeah, and we'll take the money. Alrighty, enemy killed in battle. 1 recovery time. Blah 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 blah. Rupert Volkmar. And we want you to proceed out here together. Karl and Rupert will move to the Temple of Heimkill, alas, next turn, but still move there. We'll be at full health when we attack. Then we'll use the Temple of Heimkill as support to sail out to Stormwrack Mountain, hopefully trade it to the Urson Revivalists. Every turn that they continue to survive is a gift as far as I'm concerned. And I do think it was a pretty good move to peace out with these Skaven, at least for now, as we will be dealing with them later. And ooh, Village the Curseling. Well, well, well. Would you be willing to fight us? Alright, Nud, what I want you to do is go right here and go into ambush. I'm hoping that this guy sees Blizzard Peak and is like, oh, look, free Blizzard Peak, let's attack that. And then promptly tries to attack Nud. Ah, he won't do it. His army is pathetic. You know what? Move out here. I want to see what he does. He might still move close to this way, especially with the several units, huh? Okay, now I'm a little bit concerned that he teleports on top of us, but we've already moved, so that's, well, that's what it is. You know what, move back slightly, like so. We'll see how far he travels. I doubt he march stances, but who knows? Who knows? As I recall, Village has a really nice defeat trait, so this is, it's definitely a value kill there. Next up, we want to take that stupid little floating pyramid, which refused to be auto-resolved previously, so auto-resolve this. Yes, and occupy it. Lovely. Imar Swamps is now fully ours. We're going to build defensive structure everywhere. We don't need the Clothier here, at least not right now. We're going to switch you to Council of Burgomeisters immediately. You're still around the Temple of Kara, but your army, by the looks of it, is still too weak. Ah, but you are in camp stance, which means it won't be too weak for much longer. Oh no, there's a Skaven Plague. I freaking hate Skaven Plague. Okay, that's going to be irritating.
Champion of the faith.
Start upgrading the defenses at Wallatal. Although, what if we trade Wallatal away? So we have to keep Immil here. I'm just wondering, we do want to get Wellsprings of Eternity, but we also don't want to lose the Temple of Kara. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to get another temporary lord there. We have Imperial Calibration here and a Strategist. Is there any other strategists that we have? I just want to double check because there are strategists. Ooh, another noble. I want an Archlector with noble. That's what I want. But we haven't had a good chance to get one. Don't like any of these Grandmasters either, and we do want another Grandmaster to replace the Knights of Moor one. Alright, we'll just do one of the Archlectors. You have what? 2 character skills and 4 battle skills. I guess we could reset you. But then if we're gonna bother, why not just get a better one? Yeah, let's just get the strategist. And we'll put you in the Temple of Kara. This way we won't have to move Bernhard here. This guy could also go for the Monument of Itzital, but he can't reach it in 1 turn, so that's just fine. And then you're gonna get 2... and... I don't know, 2? All of these guys are absolutely gonna be deleted later on, it's just that we need some right now. Now you... So here's the problem. We move you to Wellsprings of Eternity, then this guy comes in with a full stack and immediately attacks you, which I can't say I like very much. Wolfheart, you will also want to do a couple things, namely... Allied Recruitment, and where do we have Eotain? 36 Allegiance. We can get 1 Lothern Seaguard unit. Now let's get 1 up and running. Then we'll get a second one afterwards. They may not be huntsmen, but they should still be pretty okay. The range at the front of the line will probably be about equivalent to our huntsman. Man, look at the damage disparity, though. Huntsman hit twice as hard, but to be fair, these guys are supposed to hold the line. I do wonder whether it would be better to use Celestial Dragon Guard instead. Do we not have access to them? We don't have any access. We don't have access to them anyway. We can always replace them later on with Celestial Dragon Guard. Just have a couple of range, like Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen, I mean. Crossbows. Oh, there's the guard. But 'twas the crossbows that I was referring to. And just to take the hits. Right, these guys are anti-large, so I think they will work just fine. Anyway, you're good. Is there anywhere else where we can get a fight going? Aha, King Hopros is sitting in the Sorcerer's Islands. Is that the place you want to be, my friend? Well, we could probably reach it via the sea. What we want to make sure that we can do... What the heck? How did I click Castle Baston from here? That was weird. Alright, what we want to see is this. Volky, you need to lose, let's say, one of the halberds. So, Jamathius, remove a halberd, like so. He's not going to keep the halberds anyway. Then, Theoderic,
I serve no master.
I'm hoping that you won't screw up our movement range, and Volkmar can still reach the Sorcerer's Islands after this. Maybe. Volkmar, 2 Sorcerer's Islands, you go.
To battle.
And by the looks of it, yes you can. Beautiful. Close victory, another fight for you, and a decent pile of enemies, but without Arcan and with magic now available to Volkmar, we have a much stronger army. Granted, we don't have our mortars, but we could have them right now if we wanted to. Though that would mean leaving Lashik, and I fear that we might have to. So there's a couple problems here. Well, I guess here's what we'll do. We'll send Luther Grobber out to the Eye of the Panther, which, mind you, is still hurt. But this guy might be too afraid to attack it, even with this army being here, being kind of garbage. Then, Aldebras Meyer can take Phyrus. Probably we'll have to do this manually just to reduce casualties, though, because I don't like the medium casualties idea, especially if he gets attacked. I don't want to lose those Pegasi, which are supposed to be transferred to Balthi. We also have reinforcements on the way. These guys. We could have him stop him kill Mad Mullitson if we wanted to. But anyway, in the meantime, okay, let's get you one more fight this episode. I don't see too many problems with this, even if the enemy does outnumber us, because we just defeated a more significant force with Arcan, but who knows? Here we go.
On order.
Alrighty, here we go, and the thing. Oh, guys, come on! Rocket batteries. Look what you did. Look what you did, rocket battery. Anyway, the thing I am most excited about in this particular battle is these guys. The officer squad has finally reported to battle with their, are those Null Ironsides? Ah, alright. Or are those, you guys look pretty fantastic. I can't wait to try them out, and we have 2 of them. These are the summoned units at the end of one of the lines of the Empire captains. So we do have 2 of them, one here and one here to fire through the gaps. They actually have fairly decent range. At 175, they in fact outrange the regular handgunners slightly. However, unlike the handgunners, they have 100 armor and 40-50 melee attack and defense. So they're no slouches in terms of the... in terms of their pure stats. I do wonder where we would be best applying them. They are anti-large in terms of their regular weapon strength. But they have decent armor-piercing missile damage as well and fairly fast reload time. Well, I guess we shall see. We're going to try to focus this unit a little bit more, and there we go, them firing now. I think these guys would look pretty fantastic in a line of Null Ironsides. I'm just listening to the sound of their guns there. Wait, this one guy has a bayonet, and then... Oh, okay, half of them have bayonets on those things, and then half of them don't. Come on, guys. You're probably gonna need those. Alrighty, now let's see what we've got. The enemy army is nearly here. Obviously, we're dishing out decent damage with our artillery, as always, and are currently focusing all our artillery pieces on taking out those screaming skull catapults before they can achieve much. We've also sent our Imperial captains, or Empire captains, out to fight the Fellbats. Probably not the best use of them, as compared to, I don't know, fighting lords, or crypt horrors, or other monstrous infantry like Ushabti, or maybe even assassinating the Tomb Prince here. But the thing is, the bats are really annoying, and I'd really prefer them not to land upon our handgunners and our artillery. We're even keeping back a unit of Demigryph Knights specifically to counteract that and to also counteract the inevitable summoning of enemy Ushabti. Looks like some enemy units are moving into the flanks as well, but we do have more of our halberd-wielding Demigryphs here, so they'll be getting a little bit of action here as well by countercharging these Nehekara horsemen. And that's going to very much go in our favor fairly quickly, as this is an awful, awful matchup for the said horsemen. And there we go, they're at about half HP and we've taken no damage whatsoever on our halberds. Alrighty, in the meantime, Volkmar is moving in and attacking the enemy Tomb King. Our officer squads are also moving out to try to help out against various things as best they can. I'm gonna pop a cascading fire cloak on Volkmar, and it looks like the enemy lord will in fact try to run away. Well, Volkmar unfortunately did get stuck while trying to go after the enemy lord, so we're going to try to unstuck him by popping a piercing bolts of burning. Not necessarily what I wanted here, but it's not like the crypt horrors are going to take a lot of damage to that, and the various crypt ghouls and stuff are already dead. There was a unit with him here, and that is this unit of summoned halberdiers, but they did obviously rout. Not that it matters that much. Looks like the enemy bats are nearly out of the fray, and the enemy's going to summon its Ushabti. We also have some crypt horrors that are very close to this officer squad right here. And once again, I just want to see what the officer squad does. Let's see if they can get some shots into these crypt horrors. There we go. They do fairly decent range damage, though I do have to wonder whether they're better used in pure range or whether they're better used in melee. It does say that they are melee experts, but I really like watching them fire, so it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, this is once again one of those situations, or this is once again why it would be great for them to be with Null Ironsides, who are also semi-hybrid units like this. Anyway, they're gunning away at those crypt horrors, who are now in pretty bad shape as well, and are going to try to run through. And will have been destroyed shortly. In fact, speaking of being destroyed shortly, the rest of the enemy army is in very bad shape already. The enemy range units are all suffering under the ministrations of our artillery barrages. We have cleared out the bats finally with the Empire captains, and they can now move to help out at the rest of the battlefield, but it's not like we need them. The enemy Tomb Guard and Skeleton or Nehekara warriors are also running around here, and they cannot catch our units of Free Company militia, so they're just free to stay there, hit them in the sides and in the back. And the rest of the skeletons are finally here. They certainly took their time while doing the dance to avoid our artillery, but they're here a little bit too late, as the battle is pretty much done. Volkmar gets his second or third use of that Grand Soulfire down, and it looks like all the units that were fighting over on this side are going to start disintegrating, so that he can charge through to another unit. Lovely, and it looks like the battle is in fact going to be ours, with that as the last of the enemy units begin to melt. Lovely. And hey, we even get some shots into the back of the enemy here with our Free Company militias. These guys probably didn't do a crazy amount of damage over this particular battle, but, you know, it's fine. Most of the enemies seem to have died over on the main portion of the battlefield, and obviously those guys were over on the flank together with the Demigryphs. But once again, 'twas the officer squads that I was most interested in. Ooh, and these guys are in melee as well, fighting some Nehekara warriors here. Oh wow, this guy this guy leaps pretty damn high, wearing basically full plate and carrying a big old gun and a sword. You can surely leap high, my friend. Huh, what's this thing? Did this model originally have a shield? Why do they have like a thing that's like a thingy here and near their arms? Maybe the model originally had a shield, I don't know. But anyway, at least they're getting some melee action as well. This is their episode, I guess. We watched them fire, and now it's only fair that we watch them sword. Too bad that they don't seem to be able to fire in melee like the Grudge Rakers can. But I guess they're also in fairly small numbers, and maybe they can, depending on how you pop their formation up. Anyway, that is it. Well done to the officer squad, who lost 2 units, but did manage to kill 49, which ain't too bad. Damage wasn't particularly high, but honestly, fighting the dregs of the... Damn, I should have checked this officer squad instead, because these guys were actually fighting the crypt cores and stuff, whereas these guys were only fighting, once again, and the dregs of the enemy melee once they had already begun to disintegrate. But anyway, a heroic victory for Volkmar and his newly acquired officer squads. Alrighty, nice little battle. Not much in the way of damage, though I will admit I stopped paying attention just a little bit during the battle because I wanted to see those officer squads in action. Very, very nice looking units. Just want to get a pile of officers and Ironsides together now. We are going to obviously occupy the place. Got a free crown of command, but otherwise not much in the way of rewards. An Imperial Pegasus for Sergov Schwarzhelm.
Volkmar the Grim.
Who is not one of these guys. I don't know who Sergov is. We did get another scribe, which we can put on somebody and at least give them a more research, but it won't be you. Alright, I'll deal with that later. Now, I guess with that we are pretty much out of time, and ooh, well, Village, you've wasted your muddled minds on Jimothius Warner, who, well, who doesn't really care about it. And also he can still move quite far, but, yeah. That thing is really annoying, but I'm glad that Village wasted this. It's really bizarre the way that the AI uses muddled minds. Like, what the heck is this? Why? Why would you do this? To what purpose? At least use it on armies that are at least a little bit closer in proximity to you, or enemies that you're actually actively fighting. And that faction's always been very odd with that. But anyway, with that we're out of time. Volkmar next time will push down towards the Wizard Caliph's palace, and that might actually be a fairly difficult battle. Look at all those Ushabti with great bow, and otherwise piles of monstrous units. Maybe we'll try to draw them into a fight outside the settlement. If we can take all of these, however, we can also push towards the Wizard Caliph's palace with more than one army. I'm a little bit concerned that the Great Desert of Araby might fall, but even if it does, we can just reclaim it. Shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, Volkmar hopefully to clear out the undead, and next time Marcus to push towards Pahwax and the other territories belonging to Hexoatl, though it looks like the Cult of Pleasure might be bypassing Hexoatl to go for us instead, which does not shock me, I will admit. Oh, and they'll bypass all of the elves that they're fighting as well. Of course. Anti-player bias is obnoxious. And then lastly, we now have to sail out with Gavin and Kurt here, who will probably begin either fighting the World Walkers or maybe help out against Nikari. Because this guy's just going to be a thorn in the side of these elves until he's gone. So maybe we could leave somebody here to reinforce the garrisons while we take care of Nikari, and then move back up towards Norska. We will also hopefully still save the Orson Revivalist, but we got at least a few more turns until we can get that going. So stay tuned to find out if we manage it. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.